With the release of the new Nike Ja 3 Light Up, one can only look forward to the other colorways that we have seen of the Nike Ja 3. If you check out sneaker websites and some of these social media platforms, maybe you've seen a lot of colorways that we will talk about today of the Nike Ja 3. But before we can get into that, let's talk about some of the colorways of the Nike Ja 2. There was 25 different colorways that have released. So let's take a look at all 25, rate them from a 1 to 10, and then at the end of the video, I want you to give me your top 3, your top 5, or even your top 10 Nike Ja 2s. Remember, there were 25 of them released. Without further ado, let's get into these Ja Morant sneakers, you dig? The first Ja colorway to release was the Nike Ja 2 Induction, which came in a multicolor colorway, released on September 26th for a retail price of 150 bucks. This colorway draws inspiration from the Murray State jerseys, as you have the cream overlays with the brown mesh accents. One of the best colorways so far, the release of the Ja 2. This was actually kind of like the preheat colorway before the official colorway that was a little bit more easier to get, which we're going to get to next. Following the release of the Induction colorway on October 3rd for a retail price of 120 bucks, we had the Nike Ja 2 Stargazer. Now this colorway was something very interesting to me. I did love this color combination of bold berry, light lemon twist, dark resin, and Baltic blue. Very nice colorway, very unique colorway. Let me know what you guys think about this and rate this Ja 2 Stargazer from a 1 to 10 in the comments below. Following the release of the Stargazer, we have on October 25th, 2024, for a retail price of 150 bucks, the Nike Ja 2 Nightmare colorway was released, which was truly one of the more unique colorways, and I would say a top 3 colorway of the Nike Ja 2 in my opinion. These came in a university red, gold, black, and jade horizon color scheme. This Ja 2 stood out because of that bold red upper. Then of course you have the black faux fur on the heels, also with the stitched in hands to give it that zombie look. I like this one, definitely a top 3 colorway like I said earlier, but let me know your opinion on this and rate it from a 1 to 10 in the comments below. Following the zombie release of the Nike Ja 2 on November 1st for that same retail price of 120 bucks, we got the Nike Ja 2 Night Vision, which features black, phantom, light smoke gray, light lemon twist as the color scheme. One of the more basic colorways. I do love the iridescent splash that you have on the side panels. Very cool looking shoe. Let me know what you guys think about this one and rate this Ja 2 Night Vision from a 1 to 10 in the comments below. The Night Vision was pretty basic in my opinion, but one thing that stood out to me was the Nike Ja 2 in the Woods, which released November 20th for the same retail price of 120 bucks. These feature a white base with hemp, vintage green, and astronomy blue accents. Definitely was one that stood out to me. I love the detailing on the swoosh and just that hemp colorway on this white shoe. Following the In the Woods Nike Ja 2 on December 19th for a retail price of 130 bucks, we got the Nike Ja 2 Christmas. This was like a special edition. That's why it was priced at 130 as opposed to 120 bucks. I definitely like the color scheme featuring light silver, metallic gold, and iron gray. This one kind of did move a little bit, even though some of the jobs released before that didn't sell so well. The tree topper, as well as the Christmas shoe, which this is called, was definitely a standout release from the Nike Ja 2. These featured a light silver, metallic gold, and iron gray color scheme. I love the details on the side panels, plus the iridescent all over the upper, the tongue, around the toe box, and the heel. And you can't be mad at a translucent speckled outsole. Let me know your thoughts about these. Do they crack your top 5 of all the Ja 2 releases? And also rate it from a 1 to 10 in the comments below. Following the Christmas shoe, aka the tree topper, we also was blessed with the Swarovski Crystal Nike Ja 2 Midnight, which dropped February 14th, All-Star Weekend, for a retail price of 150 bucks. These featured a all black upper with hints of coconut milk, and of course on the side panels, as well as the medial side swoosh, you had the Swarovski crystals. Now these really stood out, and there was a little bit of controversy, should I say, because some locations in my area had it for 150 bucks, while other locations had it for 250 bucks. And I definitely seen some people scooping them up for 250. So that was kind of crazy and a little bit of confusion. Nonetheless, this was definitely a solid color combination. Very nice materials as well. Let me know what you guys think about this. Does this crack your top 3 or top 5, excuse me, and then rate it from a 1 to 10 in the comments below. The next Ja 2 to hit the scene was the Iron Gray colorway, which released a little bit after the previous release for a retail price of 120 bucks. These feature iron gray, light bone, bright crimson, and cobalt blue. Definitely not a bad color combination on this. I'm not too sure if it stood out for me, but the materials look very solid. Let me know your thoughts about this one and rate this one also from a 1 to 10 in the comments below. The next Nike Ja 2 to release dropped on January 2nd for a retail price of 120 bucks. This is the Nike Ja 2 12 time, which featured light lemon twist, total orange, light army, and cargo khaki as the color scheme. As you can see, these featured a very loud light lemon twist upper. Then you have the total orange swoosh adding a layer of contrast. This colorway to me was kind of underwhelming, but I did see it on the courts a little bit out here in the area I live. Let me know your thoughts about this colorway, of course, and like I've asked for the previous ones, rate this one from a 1 to 10, and does it make your top 10, your top 5, your top 3 colorways of Nike Ja 2? Comment below. Now, I know I'm talking about the shoes that actually released to the public, but I had to mention the Nike Ja 2 Giraffe PE. This one right here was really unique, and I'm pretty sure if the public was able to get it, it would have sold out quickly. However, the next one to release to the public was the Nike Ja 2 Coconut Milk, which released February 1st for a retail price of 130 bucks. Very unique colorway, and I like the materials they use on this. This Ja 2 featured coconut milk, pink foam, and black as the color scheme. This one, like most Ja 2s, featured mesh and nubuck materials, but these had a hint of suede that made the shoe really stand out to me. Give me your thoughts about this and rate it from a 1 to 10 in the comments, and does it crack your top 10 of the Nike Ja 2? Next, I want to talk about the other Ja 2 Swarovski collaboration, because this black label one was super exclusive. It also dropped during All-Star weekend, but these retailed for 550 bucks. Unfortunately, I didn't even get a chance to see these in person, but these were very, very unique. The Swarovski crystals on this really stood out all over the eyelids, midfoot, heel, giving it a real striking look. Of course, you have the black mesh and suede on the upper, so that you still have that breathability, even though with all those materials and crystals on there. Definitely in my top 3 colorways of the Nike Ja 2. Let me know if you guys were able to get your hands on this, and rate this one from a 1 to 10 as well. The following Ja 2 release that dropped February 7th, and these retail for 130 bucks, is the Nike Ja 2 Heart Eyes. These have a magic ember, pink foam, deep night, and iron gray color scheme that definitely made this one stand out. I was a big fan of the heart print all over the back heel, and this unique colorway of the magic amber pink foam just made this shoe stand out a lot more. Let me know if you guys were a fan of these, and of course, let me know if these made your collection, and rate these from a 1 to 10 in the comments. Also in February was a grade school exclusive Nike Ja 2 Total Orange. These dropped February 11th for a retail price of 105 bucks, featuring obsidian, total orange, pink sickle, and light lemon twist as the color scheme. Definitely a grade school centered shoe, very bright and vibrant colors. Let me know your thoughts about this, and maybe even rate this one from a 1 to 10 in the comments below. This next Nike Ja 2, I was very close to picking it up because it released on my actual birthday, March 1st, and they retail for 130 bucks. These featured blue beyond, hyper pink, apricot, and a nice blue void. This color combination stood out to me. I liked it a lot. Let me know your thoughts about it. The details and color scheme was just something that was really eye-catching to me. I just didn't pull the trigger on them, but they're very nice, retail for 130. Let me know what you guys think about them, and rate these from a 1 to 10. The following release dropped April 1st, April Fool's Day, for a retail price of 120 bucks. This is the Nike Ja 2 Sonic Yellow, which was very unique and eye-catching in my opinion. These featured soft yellow, university gold, dusty cactus, and obsidian. I love the grills on the laces. I think that was a dope touch as well. The textures around the tongue, the heel, and the toe guard was definitely something that drew me to the shoe. The color combination, the texture on the materials, definitely a top 10 colorway in my opinion. Rate these from a 1 to 10 in the comments. This shoe was definitely one that had a few different price points, from 120 to 130. Now this one released for 140 bucks on April 18th. This is the Nike Ja 2 Murray State, of course paying homage to his alma mater, Murray State, with the color scheme as you can see. Very clean. I love the texture on the swoosh. That one is what really stood out to me on this shoe, along with the translucent outsole. As you can see, these feature Murray State colors with a white mesh upper. You have gold accents that wrap around the midsole, fading smoothly into the white. Then of course you have navy blue details on the collar and the swoosh. Then you have that fuzzy Nike swoosh as well, which is what drew me to them. I think that's what you're paying that extra money for too, by the way. Nonetheless, this is definitely a solid colorway when it comes to the Nike Ja 2. Give me your thoughts about it in the comments below. Following the Murray State release, we got the Nike Jawbreaker, which dropped May 1st for a retail price of 140 bucks as well. These feature white, Game Royal, University Red, and University Blue as the color scheme. I was a big fan and drawn to the splatter that looks like it's all over the shoe. The medial side, the profile side, the tongue, the laces, everything about this one really stands out to me. And to top it off, it featured a translucent outsole as well. This shoe was definitely one of the more unique colorways and stood out to me for sure. Of course, give me your feedback on this one in the comments below. Next up on May 1st as well, we got the Nike Ja 2 Scratch. Now, I'm gonna be the first to say, this one didn't hit me like the Ja 1 Scratch, but the color scheme was definitely impressive as well, with that rapid teal, black, L brown, and University Red color scheme. Putting some red laces in here really makes the shoe pop, as I've seen before. I do love the fact that the scratches were stitched in as opposed to a screen print look, if you will. This right here definitely stood out to me. It makes my top 10, but I don't think it makes my top 5, or definitely not the top 3. Give me your thoughts about these. Do you like them? Did you actually pick up a pair of these Scratch Ja 2, or was it something you just forgot about and left alone? Rate it in the comments below. The next Ja 2 release was actually another grade school exclusive. This is the Nike Ja 2 Star Power, which released May 9th for a retail price of 97 bucks. These feature bright crimson, dusty cactus, and lifeline as the color scheme. Very much so a bright, vibrant shoe that you can see grade school hoopers alike wearing. Let me know if you guys like those, how much did they stand out to you, and if they came out in men's sizes, would you have picked up a pair? Following the grade school release, we got the Kool-Aid Nike Ja 2 Mixed Berry. Now these released May 16th for a retail price of 130 bucks. Featuring that magic ember, laser orange, black, and photon dust as the color scheme. 2 different shoes in different colors. I definitely like that. Wasn't really the biggest fan of the mixed berry flavor of Kool-Aid. Nonetheless, I like how they executed it here. You have that Volt green translucent outsole that really makes the shoe pop even more. Give me your thoughts about this. I know this definitely is gonna be in a lot of people's top 5, but does it make it in your top 3? And also rate these in the comments below. Next, I want to talk about another Ja 2 that wasn't released to the general public, but definitely stood out to me. This was the EYBL Nike Ja 2 that had the chrome swoosh where you would pull off the plastic. This right here was a very, very unique colorway. I like it a lot. If it came out to the public, if it was a general release, I definitely could see myself adding this to the collection, but let me know if you would. The next official release to the general public was the Nike Ja 2. They're deeming this the Tiffany colorway. You have black, bleached turquoise, and cave stone as the color scheme. These released June 1st for a retail price of 120 bucks. I definitely saw people scooping these up, even though they weren't available at most locations. Very clean colorway for sure. That Tiffany blue or black, you just can't go wrong with that. Rate this from a 1 to 10, and does it crack your top 5 or your top 10 of the Nike Ja 2s? As you can see, there's a lot to choose from, a lot of good colorways, some better than others, but that's how it goes. Following the Tiffany colorway of the Nike Ja 2, we got the Nike Ja 2 NRG New York Scratch. Now these retailed for 130 bucks as well and dropped on June 13th. As you guys can see, these came in a neon green upper with slashes in bold pink and black. This right here stood out for sure. I love the detailed textures around the heel cup and the toe box area. This was definitely one that stood out to me for sure. Not sure if I would have added it to my collection. Well, I did not add it to my collection, but it definitely stood out. Let me know if you guys were a fan of this one and if you guys picked it up, and rate it from a 1 to 10 in the comments below. Following that release, we were fortunate to get the Nike Ja 2 Team Bank collection, which released in all standard college colorways. These right here were pretty unique. Found them more at Dick's Sporting Goods and outlets. But let me know if you guys picked up any of the college color schemes. And I definitely like the fact that they released that, so that way they had something literally for everybody. Now the next official release was the Kool-Aid Nike Ja 2 Tropical Punch. Now I was a fan of this flavor, and this colorway is phenomenal. Definitely one of the best for sure, and definitely in my top 3 Nike Ja 2s. These released July 3rd for that same retail price of 130 bucks, featuring bright crimson, flat silver, hyper pink, black, and photo blue. Now these are eye-catching. I love the upper, I love the details around the heel, around the lacing area and toe box. Then you also have that translucent outsole. On the side panel, you have the brick wall breaking, just like you would see with the Kool-Aid Man and the commercials. They executed this one way better than the previous one. That's just my opinion. I rate this one pretty much a 10 out of 10, and it also fits in my top 3. Let me know what you guys think about this Ja 2, of course, in the comments below. So with all of the Nike Ja 2s that released over this period of time, there was definitely some fire ones, and there was about 25 different pairs that actually released to the general public. Let's go ahead and get into my top 5. Starting off at 5 with the Nike Ja 2 Nightmare, super clean colorway. I love the red boldness, top 5. Then we got the Swarovski crystals that was released a little bit more to the general public than the other one. I like this a lot, was able to have this in hand, super clean. Following that at number 3 is the Nike Ja 2 Induction colorway, super clean, hard to get. Then we got the Nike Ja 2 Tiffany colorway coming in at number 2. I love this color combination, it definitely stands out to me. Following that is indeed the Kool-Aid colorway. I think this had to be the best one to release in my opinion. That's why it was the last one. Let me know your thoughts about my top 5. And as I mentioned earlier, let me know your top 5, your top 10, or your top 3 Nike Ja 2s that released in the comments below. There was a lot of bangers. 25 different colorways is insane. Now let's get into the Nike Ja 3. As some of these dates might change, I'm pretty sure the price point will stay the same, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into these shoes. First up, on August 5th, for a retail price of 125 bucks, we have the Nike Ja 3 Light Show. Now this is a colorway I actually was able to get my hands on so far, and I do love the color combination. These have a white base with dusty cactus, hyper pink, and star blue accents on the shoe. They do also come with extra laces, which is something that I do like. After having this in hand, it far more looks better than what I've seen by the images online. So if you have an opportunity to scoop up this colorway, definitely do so. But I also recommend that you go up at least a half a size. This Nike Ja 3 Light Show is definitely impressive. I'm just curious to see what's coming up next. Next, let's talk about the Nike Ja 3 that drops November 5th for a retail price of 125 bucks. These feature turbo green, black, white, and university red. By far, this is jumping out the gate as one of my favorite colorways that I've seen of the Ja 3, and then of course it has that Memphis Grizzly color scheme. You can't go wrong with these. I'm curious to see if they come with extra red laces, because that would really make the shoe pop. And if they don't bring you red laces, they might drop the ball. Unless the laces are black, that might look good too. But let me know your thoughts about this turbo green Nike Ja 3. Is this the best one you've seen so far, and do you see yourself picking this one up? Next, we have another unique colorway of the Nike Ja 2 that's set to release October 18th for that same retail price of 125 bucks. These come in mink brown, pink foam, and black as the color scheme. This one right here is very unique, using that mink brown as the base. Cannot wait to see these in hand. And of course, since the first pair came with an extra set of laces, well this, if it comes in a pink foam lace, that's gonna take this shoe to another level as well. Rate this from a 1 to 10, and do you see yourself picking these up in October? This next Ja 3 is said to be the actual official second release of the shoe, which drops October 21st for that same retail price of $125. Now this colorway truly stands out because it comes in a hyper pink, mint foam, and black color scheme, with the hyper pink being the base of the shoe. This one and the turbo green are just eye-catching, hard to take your eyes off of. I'm a big fan of this colorway also. August 21st is right around the corner. Do you see yourself going after this colorway, or are you gonna wait for something else? But I think already out the gate, this has to be at least in the top 10 of the Nike Ja 3s that are releasing down the road. But let me know your thoughts about that in the comments. The next Nike Ja 3 that will be releasing drops July 22nd for a retail price of $135. This is the Nike Ja 3 New York, New York, which features black, total orange, neon yellow, and bright crimson as a color scheme. I think they did a great job at making this shoe a dominant black with the accents of the total orange and neon yellow, and that bright crimson hits just perfectly as well. I'm very curious to see what color lacing they give us, if they do continue to give us an extra set of laces to offset the shoe a little bit more. But the black laces look just as good in these. Let me know your thoughts about this Nike Ja 3 New York versus New York, and will you be adding it to your collection? Now this next release is the Nike Ja 3 LX, which is set to release in February of 2026 on the 13th for a retail price of $155. These feature Cobalt Bliss, Glacier Blue, and black as the color scheme. These truly stand out to me, and I'm drawing a liking to this one. Definitely got to be in the top 5 other colorways to release down the road. But let me know your thoughts and opinions of this. Are you a fan of it? And rate this from a 1 to 10 also in the comments below. Following that colorway in September of 2025, we have the Nike Ja 3 EYBL, which will be releasing for $135. So apparently these EYBL sneakers will make it to retail stores, featuring platinum violet, fire pink, dusty cactus, and university gold as the color scheme. As you know, these are inspired by the summer circuit EYBL, which is kind of getting controversial. Some people think it's really good for the youth. Some people don't think so. Think they're robbing people with the money you gotta pay for it. Let me know what you guys think about that. Nonetheless, this Nike Ja 3 is very colorful and it stands out to me in my opinion. I think it will be something that people will try to get their hands on, because usually the EYBL releases don't really get a general public release. So the fact that they're giving us that, this option is a really good thing. Retail for $135, dropping in September. Will you guys be picking this one up? The next Ja 3 we're gonna talk about releases October 18th for a retail price of $125. These come with a white base and black and coconut milk accents. This right here kind of gives me an off-white vibe. Let me know if this is something that's impressing to you. $125 on the retail, so it goes down just a little bit. Let me know your thoughts about this one, of course, in the comments below. This next Nike Ja 3 is something that a lot of people will be trying to get their hands on. It released October 21st, 2025 for a retail price of $140. This is the Nike Ja 3 Zombie with that Grinch green colorway. This right here is way better than the Nike Ja 2 Zombie in my opinion. Let me know if you guys agree with that. $140 for the price point, you can't go wrong with that. Some people will call this the Grinch shoe for Ja Morant, and I'm not mad at that, with that color scheme, which is so vibrant. I'm a big fan of this. I rate this a 10 out of 10 already, and this definitely has to be in the top 3 of the Nike Ja 3s for sure so far. I guess only time will tell when we get down the road, but this one is gonna be a top 10 for sure. And to wrap up this video, the Nike Ja 3 Hustle and Flow just stands arms and shoulders amongst the rest of the shoes that we'll be releasing in 2025. To me, they dropped September 5th for a beautiful retail price of $125. These feature University Gold, Purple Dynasty, Violent Tint, and Soft Yellow as the color scheme. As you can see, they come in 2 different colorways in 1 pair of shoe, which I'm a big fan of. And if I have the opportunity to get my hands on these, I'm definitely scooping them up. I love the lace combo. I like how they just presented this shoe. Can't wait till it actually releases. I think this will be one of the more popular colorways too. Can it be in the top 10 or top 5? Definitely a great chance. So here's where your feedback is important. After we've seen all of 25 pair of the Nike Ja 2 and what's to be released so far of the Nike Ja 3, give me your feedback on both silhouettes. Which one do you like more? What's your favorite silhouette of the Ja 2? And of the Ja 3s that we've seen so far, is there any of them that you feel like you have to have in the collection? There's a lot of good things to choose from, and I definitely think by far the Ja 3 is the best silhouette thus far, but I'm very much so looking forward to the collaborations and what other colorways are to come. Hit the like button, share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, especially if you are not already subscribed. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Deuces.